What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to be no-hitting Dark Souls 3 and all of its bosses while not using anything other than Pyromancies. Pyromancy is widely considered the best magic type in DS3, and once you see what this build can do, it's pretty easy to see why. Very fair damage. The absolute hardest bosses in the game are completely trivialized by this build. The stunlock potential combined with the god tier damage makes this pyro build arguably the best in the entire game. That's how you do that fight. If you like challenge runs like this one, make sure you subscribe because I've recently started working towards my biggest no-hit run yet. All FromSoft Souls and Souls-like games, all bosses, no-hit run. It's going to be massive, and I hope you join me on that journey. But for now, you can relax, and I hope you enjoy this run. Surely we're good to get the run. But yeah, we are so close yet so far last time. Like, it was so funny that I totally deserved it too, I guess. Yeah, what happened yesterday was I didn't get hit, like, I only got hit once, and it was to just some random enemy. And the enemy is one that I normally just run past, and it's perfectly safe to run past every time. The guy that started Cathedral. Dude, that's actually crazy. But I decided that I was just going to kill him with Great Chaos Fire Orb for whatever reason. I missed, and then he hit me after. So, and that was the only hit I took on the whole run. So, I mean, it's a good sign because I didn't get hit on anything else, but it's funny that I should have gotten the run there, but I didn't because I decided to try to kill an enemy that I never normally would, and I missed, right? I could probably do that 100 times, and I would never get hit by that, right? Because either... I mean, I could probably do that section 10,000 times and not get hit, because in the very small percentage of times that I would decide to randomly free aim him, I'd probably hit. But then, you know, every other time, I don't know how many times I said, but the 9,995 times that I do it, I would just run past him like I always do, so... Jesus, see, someone asked if I ever get jump scared. The Souls games, that is how I get jump scared, when the boss does some extra attack when they're not really supposed to. That's weird. How disappointing was Augur? Honestly, it was basically what I expected for the most part. I think I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. Just in my opinion, I don't think it's actually that bad. My biggest problem with the boss is the fact that we are playing it's a roguelike game, and you get the Storm Ruler, and it basically just, your build doesn't matter anymore, almost. There's no point in getting legendary weapons. There's no point in, all that stuff. It just doesn't matter anymore, which is bad. That's the biggest problem, I think. The rest of the fight itself is pretty much just mediocre, I guess. I do like the weapon, like the Storm Ruler mechanics, though, actually, quite a bit. I mean, is it as good as the Serpent Hunter is in the Rykard fight, though? Probably not. So yeah, I mean, it's probably like not great. Night Rain aging like milk, you think so? I don't know about that. The biggest issue I have with this route is that it's kind of slow, dude. Well, it could be a routing issue. It also could just be that Pyromancy doesn't really start out. It's surprising, dude. Some of the early bosses with Pyro are much worse than I remember, actually. At least with Sorcery. Like, Sorcery, you just blast Gundyr, you blast Vort, blast Abyss Watchers. But Pyro, like, once we get past Wolnir, then things are starting to look pretty good, at least on this route. And yeah, there's kind of like a lot of early game setup with how we're doing this Pyro route with Sacred Flame and stuff. That's why I remember on any percent, I just didn't even bother getting Sacred Flame, I don't think, because it's so slow. I just think it's so much fun to use in this, and we also use it on Friede, which is pretty good for, so... Yeah, you could easily just do this run without Sacred Flame. Yeah, you're right, the splits are cut off at the top. I noticed that last time, but I just didn't fix it yet.
What on earth? Whatever is this about?
Mara's better than Caligo? They're both pretty bad, but no, there's no way, dude. Base Maris is terrible. I think I can throw 3 here. Maybe I could have even done 4, I don't know. No, I also don't think base Maris is better than Super Maris at all. I think it's a... No, I mean, I think the Everdark Mars is better. Because it doesn't really matter what build you have. Like, for the other Mars, it's a boring fight no matter what. Even if you did bring in range and stuff. Nice. Even if you did bring in an Iron Eye for that fight, it's not... Oh boy. It's not an engaging fight. Cat sabotage on this run, dude. Oh boy. This is not good. My cat is blocking my monitor. Let's see. This is like extra hard mode. I also can't see the chat anymore. so that's a rip. He's very interested by what is going on the screen right now. Trying to think of what went wrong on the last run. I remember the Wolnir was really bad. I mean, how could I forget? That Wolnir was really, really bad. So I'm going to start with the slower... Oh my god, the cat... Dude. The cat clicked my mouse, bro. I'm going to have to turn off my mouse or something. I'm actually going to lose this run because of this. This is crazy, dude. Okay, it's worth it. Oh, so I'm shooting that guy now. It's actually so funny. Okay, I got to do this. Good thing we're early in the run. Like, this actually, if I'm late in this run, I'm going to have to do something. Co-op DS3. All bosses Pyromancy. Yes, surely, dude. Actual co-op run now. Input has been given by someone that is not me. I'm pretty sure this guy can sometimes throw bombs around the... Like, basically through that wall if he's close enough. Maybe? Gotta be careful of that. Palago would be the last super boss. But what about... There's no plan for Fulgor, right? At all? Or, sorry, not Fulgor. I mean, Healstore, I mean. Is there any plan for that? Because I think that would be sick if there's an enhanced version of him. But yeah, maybe they're just thinking he's already cool enough, or there's probably some lore reason, maybe, why they wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wonder what the plan is for the DLC. I'm assuming at least they're going to have another map. And I mean... Would it be crazy to think that they're just going to have a whole new set of bosses, right? Just 8 more bosses? I don't know what the plan is, but... Thought he wanted to get down, but I guess not. I sent her back, right? Did I send her back? I'm just not even paying any attention. No, I didn't even send her back. Here we go. Oh, boy. Jesus, dude. This run is so toast, man. There's just no way. He's straight up attacking the screen now, dude. This run is cooked. Yeah, PK'd my cat, dude. Yeah. Oh, you know what, dude? I have Steam Online right now. I'll have to switch that at some point, though. I shouldn't get invaded here. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will get invaded. I'm gonna have to fix that here, probably. Okay, I'm not being chased. No one's aggroed anymore. A little bit of a, you know, slightly illegal quit out, but who cares? I'm actually not 100% sure, but I probably get invaded if I go to pick up the Pyro Tome. But I'm actually not certain of that. No, it's not that I was playing the game online. It's that I had Steam Online, so Hazel would have invaded me. Oh boy, what do I do with my mouse, dude? Because I kind of need it to free aim stuff, but maybe I should just turn it off. This is a dilemma I have. Yeah, the NPCs, yeah, they can definitely jump down after you. That's why I usually roll. Even once I get to the bottom, I usually start rolling just in case. But I don't know. Oh, there he is. You can see him now. Really, this won't be distracting. Dude, this is a full-blown cat stream at this point. You know what? This is actually better than before. At least you can't press the mouse from there. Oh, now he's back. Oh god, dude, this is actually really bad. Mouse is turning. I'm just gonna turn it off, dude. You know what? Actually, getting cats as well has been devastating for my sound panels that I have. Like, they just love to climb them. At least they're I mean, it doesn't, like, lose effectiveness, at least. That's the real loser. No, surely that's Mind Goblin, dude. If I don't get the run now, dude, Hunter's gonna be fuming. Oh, yep. There he goes. He's at the top. Surely he can get down properly. Oh my god, dude. Oh, he sort of got down. I gotta show you guys him climbing, if I can, eventually. But yeah, sound panels are not cheap, and they are not looking so good. But it's fine. Doesn't matter. One's named Chi, the other one Tenjin, dude. That's crazy. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. I think so far so good. But yeah, this route is quite slow, though. And I think for sure it will be slower than the sorcery, which is interesting because sorcery is generally the slowest one. But like I was saying earlier, it's kind of more about some of the decisions I've made during this route. You know, getting Sacred Flame is not needed, but you got to do a all bosses pyro run with Sacred Flame, right? But yeah, that being said, a 3-hour all bosses run in this game is not... I mean, it's slow compared to what I normally do, but it's actually a pretty average time for all bosses no hit for most people in this game, so... I guess just sorceries, you don't really have to go super out of your way for spells, right? Whereas Pyromancy, you kind of do. I mean, think about the entire Smoldering Lake section is we're just going there because we have a bunch of spells over there. The main spells on the run are all over there. Great Chaos Fire Orb, Sacred Flame. I guess that's it, but still. Yeah, the reason I'm doing all these spell runs is because, first of all, they're a lot of fun. But also, this is good D-Rust for that multi-game run. But yeah, the Twin Blade route is likely what I'll use. I think the Sunlight Straightsword route could work as well, but... I think it's maybe a little bit too... First of all, it's about half an hour slower than the Twin Blade route. And it's maybe a little bit too complicated for what's really necessary, right? Like, I don't need to go crazy with buffs with early Dancer and stuff like that on a multi-game run.
Yeah.
I keep hitting the Elden Ring buttons now. Fast would Miracles be? I don't know yet. I haven't routed it. I'm not sure. I think Miracles... First of all, there's just no way that spell runs can be as fast as melee runs. Oh, he's getting back up. I'm actually turning off my mouse, dude. I can't have that. Yeah, but I'm not sure Miracle. That'll be the next run, so we'll see when I do that. He's very small. I think he's only like 10 weeks old, maybe. Oh. It's going after my hair. I can deal with that, though. I can't, like, attacks mid-boss, maybe not. I can deal with this. Somehow not the most distracted I've been during no-hit runs. Or maybe it is, I'm not sure. Okay. Surely this will end well. This is crazy, dude. He's helping, dude. It's like Ratatouille. He's gonna start pulling my hair and tell me what to do. That's actually been my secret this whole time. What's he doing? I hear something. I'm gonna turn off my keyboard too. There we go. No memes, surely. Unless he, like, clicks my other mouse and ends the stream or something. But it should be okay. Oh, he's attacking my mic. Oh, God, dude. I don't really like being on this side of this. I do like that. Like, input read strat, but it's a little sketchy because he can sometimes just not, you can sometimes just do like the quick dagger swipes or literally any attack out of it. Okay. We rest here. Okay, so for Wolnir this time, I am not going to do the faster strat because that turned out to be a disaster last time. You know, he gave me weird RNG, which happens when you're using Great Combustion on him because he just input reads. And, you know, he pulled out sword and then the fight was a total disaster. So this time, I will do the old strat, which I honestly don't remember that well. You just attack the right hand first. That's it. Would normally free him this with keyboard. He actually left, so surely it's fine. I don't need the mouse, maybe. Okay, so hopefully I remember how this other strat works. Like, I think the main thing is that you just get a couple free hits off right away. At least one. I think he pulls his hand up now. Or does that? That works too. Yeah, it's just safer to go for that hand first. Why'd I roll that? Also, why did this not break him? It's been a while since I fought Wolnir like this. All right, good stuff. Yeah, the fiasco yesterday was, yeah. The problem is that, like I was saying earlier, Great Combustion causes weird stuff to happen on Wolnir. That, in combination with not having Sage's Ring, kind of was the problem. Because I think normally I have a bit of a stronger build than this, at least on the other Pyro run I did. Wolnir Bearer of the Curse. Wait, do I subscribe to the Wolnir equals Bearer of the Curse from DS2 theory? I'm going to say no, but I don't know. All these damn theories for this game. The Souls game is just crazy, dude. What people come up with. Like, oh, here's this one word in this, like, basically meaningless item description. It's like, oh, I guess I'm Wolnir, actually. I don't know. I don't know what that's based on, but sounds crazy. Dude, he's actually gonna unplug my controller. Please don't. I'm so ready to jump on my keyboard if he does. I've never done a run in quite these conditions before. I don't believe. I'm Godfrey with the cat on my shoulder. That's pretty funny. I'm like mini Godfrey. I wonder who's actually meant to be controlling that. Just automatic. There are a bunch of dead giants up there, right? But all you do to turn it off is literally just flip the switch and that's it. Yeah, skeletons have a degree in engineering. Yeah, true. I think he unplugged my capture card or something. Oh, okay. I guess it's fine. You guys can hear the game, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Gonna have to keep him out of here, dude. I think it's a couple problems maybe. Oh, and my camera also. Wait, what could he have unplugged that? No, there's no, I don't even know at this point what that could have been, that my camera and my capture card got messed up. Okay, hello, camera? Here we go. Well, I didn't get hit. You would have heard it, I think. This is an adventurous run so far. Yeah, Team Millet's approved. Yeah, surely I spliced my run, dude. I'm just waiting for the controller disconnect, and then I get killed by something. That's what I'm waiting for at this point. It's gonna happen, dude. Okay, what am I doing now? +6, buy a couple spells. We buy this, and this one. Okay.
Do not what?
Got a pair of kittens last year. Pre-lit Christmas tree no longer lights up. Yeah, that's not surprising. I can understand that.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I don't need the Esper Shard. I mean, we're doing a magic build, so Turns out having more magic is good. Okay, I think we're all good to go. Now, he's actually not, like, the other cat we got is its mom, who's older and doesn't really go crazy with stuff, at least yet. But, no, he's actually not, like, he's actually really good. Other cats I've had before are much more destructive. I say that, like, as he's, you know, interfering with this run, but if I wasn't actually doing a no-hit run, it wouldn't matter at all. I say that, and he starts pulling my controller again. They definitely like dangling wires. This for sure. I'm already, you know what? I'm already wireless on most stuff, but not the controller. Like, this controller doesn't, I don't think any of the Thrustmaster controllers have wireless. Pretty much everything else I have is wireless. I mean, I guess my mic isn't, but... It's been kind of weird for me last couple runs. I do Greatwood early because we get a lot of stuff on this route. We get the Flame Stone Plate Ring, which we use for the Lava Walk. We also get the Fire Pellets right here, which is also for the Lava Walk. And then we need to kill Greatwood at some point before Cinder. So we are going to go get Sacred Flame now. And so we get all this like fire resist stuff on the way. Yeah, DS3 unlocked FPS isn't like without issue, unfortunately. You will get slow running. I would recommend, though, if you're looking to play at higher FPS, because even the difference between 60 and 90 FPS is pretty large, in my opinion. Playing at 90 is pretty good. You won't have that running glitch that often. It does still happen a little bit, but 90 FPS is good. I would recommend that. And I probably could do runs at 90 FPS, but I just don't bother even. Maybe could, though. I'm just doing at base 60 FPS right now. No modification. There he goes again. Good lord, dude. If you get the mod, you can just set the cap, you know, desired FPS, whatever. If you're using DS3 tool, I think it has FPS changing on that too. You just do the same thing. Using Silky Souls is, I think, is the same, although I haven't tried. I would like to use my mouse here. Pretty clean Greatwood for this early in the run, but because we got Great Chaos Fire Orb. All right, so let's go get Sacred Flame now. Do need to do this, though. This is part of what's so slow about getting Sacred Flame. I think 7 and 2 is fine. Oh, yeah, that's what I say. Flash Sweat. Yeah, so now we have the Flame Stone Plate Ring. We have Red Bug Pellet. We have decent fire resist armor and a good fire shield. So that's part of the early game setup. We get all of that stuff set up. Ooh, that was close to him not going after that. Okay, should be good. Yeah, we also have Flash Sweat. Didn't mention. Pellet. Flash Sweat. I don't know if the order actually matters. Here we go. Yeah, that we were one tick away from dying there, but it is just always pretty close. No matter how you do it, if you're not leveling Vigor, at least. Okay, go back here. Doesn't Fire Clutch cause lava do more damage? No, Fire Clutch is only physical damage you take more of, not elemental. I think it's only physical. Hey, well, this is where I got hit last time, basically. Wasn't by this guy. Getting hit by this guy would be more understandable, actually. This guy can meme sometimes, and getting hit by, you know, a dog or an archer here is understandable, but getting hit by the guy I got hit by is not understandable. It was this guy. The guy that you just run past. But yeah, the reason I wanted to kill him is because I don't know. In my head, I was thinking, yeah, like, oh, I want to get the Estus shard, so maybe I should kill him and... so he doesn't chase me up or something, but he definitely does not chase you up when you just do that. Oh. But yeah, it's because we take a slightly more efficient route through Cathedral where I go get the shortcut and then get the bonfire instead. I do think it would be smart to kill that guy from up here. I just don't know if there's any danger, so I won't do it. Oh my god, dude, the fucking Thrall nearly got me. I was just thinking I should probably kill him. Oh my god. This is not good. Because I need a great combustion for this part. There's no frame trap, sir. I can also knife you. Are you going to backstab now? Okay, maybe I should write that down. Switch to Great Combustion. Because, yeah, you're supposed to kill that guy so that doesn't happen. But then I was like, oh, I guess I'll kill these other ones. Luckily, I know his moveset, though. I'm not gonna lie, though. When I threw that fireball and it didn't kill the guy in the back, I thought I was gonna have another another fire guy incident. How much scarier is everything without hidden body, dude? It's the no hidden body strats. I got too comfortable with them, or with the hidden body, and now everything's scary, dude. Yeah, and we almost had a Thrall incident. Yeah, I should probably do something about that Thrall. I'm trying to think of what I used to do. I really don't know. No, the two that I killed die every time when you open the door. It's the guy on the side. So, like, what I was trying to do in my head there, or my quick thinking was, I was gonna, you know, kill both of them with a fireball and then kill the guy on the left so I could safely do it. Because I'm pretty sure if I tried to use a Great Chaos Fire Orb to kill that guy on the left, I think it would have been too slow and I would have gotten hit. So, yeah, I was thinking I would... I got the bonfire, right? I was thinking that I would kill them and then kill him, but then I threw the fireball and it didn't kill both of them. So then I just went to the door and then kind of rolled the dice there, basically. Okay. Or use Toxic? I actually do not use Toxic, no. It turns out that it's not really worth using on this run, which is not what I was expecting. It would be good for Halflight, but it takes more time to get it than actually saves on the fight than just using Poison Mist. And yeah, I mean, for Gael it would be good, but it's not better than just spamming Great Combustion, I don't think. Simply because it doesn't carry over into phase 2, right? So I would have to re-proc him in phase 2, which is very dangerous, honestly. But you know what? Maybe it is worth it. I don't know. It could be worth it still for Gael phase 2. Maybe. I think I should... I think what I used to do is I used to kill that Thrall or something. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I need to go get patches now. What I think I'm going to do is the DLC running section after we kill Deacons. I think that's what I should do. No, I disagree. I don't think avoid Scholar. I think you should play Scholar, not Vanilla DS2, in my opinion. I think it's a better game overall. I do run Vanilla for no hit runs, and it's that the only reason is Forlorn is not random, and that's pretty much the main reason. The other reason would be that the game's actually faster. Like, you can use some faster strategies for no-hit speed type of stuff. So, for example, running through Dragon Shrine is much easier. Or it's not RNG to do that in Vanilla DS2, whereas in Scholar, it would basically just be RNG if you're trying to sprint through that section on no-hit. So, like, there are a few spots like that, but... yeah, for the most, like, just play Vanilla, I think. Just play Scholar. I think Scholar is more fun to play casually. Okay, I'm going to write down or equip Great Combustion there because I nearly screwed myself. And, yeah, honestly, Vanilla has many sections that are much worse than Scholar enemy placements. And just to name a few, I guess Dragon Shrine, like I mentioned, is actually, like, I actually think it's a better area. It's less tedious to go through in Scholar. It's only for speed that it's better. But for casual playthrough, I think Dragon Shrine's better. I think Undead Crypt is better by a lot. I mean, even the DLC horse section in Frigid Outskirts is actually technically better in Scholar as well, just to name a few. No, Shrine of Amana Vanilla is, like, it's actually a little bit easier than Scholar, I would say, because enemies aren't pathing around. You have more control over what's going on, I guess, but they're pretty similar, I'd say. Should die from that. And there is one thing that I like about Amana in Vanilla for no hit is that you can, the back section, instead of those 3 wandering, whatever their names are, I forget what those guys are called, but the 3 wandering guys, they're all standing still and you can sneak behind them for no hit, whereas in Scholar you can't do that because they're all like wandering around. Oh my god. This boss sometimes, dude. Trying to fucking lead me, and it almost worked. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they just randomly misfire, and it just happens to be exactly where you're going. I've had that happen where I'm like, you know, just running in a direction around the pile, and I just randomly get hit by one of them, and it's because they just shoot some random direction. I'd be wondering why I'm doing this with Great Combustion. It's simply because I don't want to kill a ton of Deacons, because then I have to wait longer in phase 2. It probably balances out more, I guess, but the problem is when you kill a bunch of Deacons, they spawn over on the other side, and you don't want to have them spawning in when you're killing the Archdeacon. The Glintstone Arc would be excellent here. So I killed a lot of them there. So we got to wait for 3 more to come back now. I don't have to, but I probably should. It's 2. Okay, there they are. I think they're all in the pile. That's pretty bad. Great. That wasn't great. All right, let's go do the running section now. What gives me the drive to keep doing other runs? It's just they're simply fun to do. I mean, it's probably just the same reason why you still play games. I'm assuming, I guess, but you know, some people might prefer to just, you know, play a bunch of different types of games and stuff. And you finish one game, you move on to the next one. I just like doing these runs. Yeah, I'm deciding to do this running section early because is more scary without hidden body. So primarily the wolf section. You also get some money out of it too, I guess. Doesn't hurt. I don't have cat ring. I don't think that affects anything though. I could get it by this point, but yeah. Also, I'm also more comfortable doing scream skip earlier in the run. We are an hour 20 in, but still relatively early. Not even halfway in yet. What's happening here? This run's gonna be about 3 hours ish. Probably a bit longer though. Maybe 3:10. Liza P is free. Wait, Liza P is free next month. Ever think of doing runs on that game? Not really. I don't really like running Soulslikes that much. Depends on the game though. Because certain games, if they're different enough, then it can be fun. But Liza P, I don't know. I haven't thought about really doing any runs on that game. Also insanely long. But also, it's not like I don't own the game already. Like I have played it and beaten it. I just haven't played the DLC yet. Hope it's not a mistake to try to kill Vilhelm this way. Oh. Is that what I meant to do? I mean, maybe I can just get him into the spot and just do this. Works. Pyromancer approved backstab right there. I mean, Pyromancers have fists after all, so. Scared of Hollow Knight no hit. I just haven't played the game, so I don't really know what I don't know anything about the game. I haven't played it. I haven't really watched it either. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it's the best Souls-like game, at least that I've played, but it's not a Souls game. I have seen people say, though, that they think it's better than the Souls games, a lot of them at least, which I don't know, dude. I can't get behind that at all. Still a good game, though. But yeah, I guess, I mean, maybe if you look at it without any context, then sure, maybe Lies of P is better than Dark Souls 1. Maybe. I mean, even then, I wouldn't be so sure. Dark Souls was made 14 years ago, so... Yeah, even then, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, Wukong's... Yeah, Wukong is not a Souls-like, in my opinion. I don't think it Souls-like has to be... It's pretty damn close, I guess, right? I feel like it's missing the requirement of different... Like, at the very least, different movesets that you can use, right? I think that's part of what a Souls-like has. It has different weapons that are unique, and Wukong doesn't really... Like, it sort of has that, but it has, like, what, 3 weapons in the game that are different movesets or whatever? So I'm forgetting stuff. It's not quite the same. I won't be able to do the Grave Tender section yet because I don't have Cat Ring, but just that's fine. Yeah, I agree with that, Tony, as well. Again, I really like Lies of P, but I just can't agree with people that say that it's better than literally any Souls game, for that matter. I just use DS1 because, like, maybe DS1's the weakest Souls game. Arguably it is, and I still think DS1's for sure better. So, all right. Well, we have done it. DLC 1 running section done. Yeah, Demon Souls, sure. Yeah, if Demon Souls is the weakest, then I still think I like Demon Souls more, probably. But I still think it's probably a better game, given the context, at least. The context of, you know, it being made, what was it, 2009? But yeah, you know what, that is a good point. I haven't played the DLC, so maybe the DLC takes it up to another level. But yeah, my opinion right now, with just having only played the base game and beaten the base game only a single time, is that it's the best Souls-like game that has been made, that I've played, at least. And it's really good. Like, just on its own, it's a really solid game, but it's not quite Souls level yet. But I do hold the game in pretty high regard. I'm definitely going to play the DLC at some point. I just don't know exactly when. This is an example of a section where Hidden Body saves probably a good 3 minutes on it for no hit. I don't know exactly how long this takes with the branch strat, but it is very slow. Is it missing for it to reach from levels? I think the very first thing I noticed when playing that game, and pretty much when playing any other Souls-like game, is I don't really know what category this is, whether it's level design, not like, maybe I guess it's level design, but it's not actually the layout of levels, because I think Lies of P has some really, I guess maybe some not so great ones, but it has some pretty good levels in it as well. But it's something that feels very indie game to me almost, is the barriers. You know, the things that keep you within the level itself. This is a very small thing, by the way. But, you know, they use like a bunch of clutter stuff to block you, you know, like garbage and stuff like that. That's not nearly as kind of seamless as what Dark Souls does, right? Even just looking at this level, usually it'll use, you know, like full-blown structures or, you know, terrain that feels like it would make sense, rather than just like some flaming garbage somewhere. So that's the very first thing I noticed. But I think one thing that FromSoft is super underrated for is their enemy diversity in the games. Every Souls-like I play, and Lies of P does a great job of this compared to other Souls-likes, I think, but any enemy diversity is maybe a slight, you know, they're just not quite on the same level as FromSoft is. Whereas, like, FromSoft has really, really good enemies, dude. Just overall, the elite enemies are good. The basic enemies are satisfying to kill, all this stuff. And yeah, they do a pretty damn good job of that. So that's probably, like, that's a more major thing, probably, that I don't think any Souls-like is caught up to yet. Where I do think Lies of P is in, like, really, really good, just objectively, is so many good boss fights in that game, dude, that are on at least the highest level of any Souls-like I've played. You know, maybe it's not quite as consistent quality as some of FromSoft, but still really, really good. Yeah, FromSoft they're very resourceful with the assets that they've made, right? You know, forget about Night Rain for a second. Even in Elden Ring, you have reused stuff all the way back from like DS1, basically, right? And they do a good job of not making that too obvious most of the time. But it's just, yeah, I think if, I forget the studio for Lies of P, but if they make, you know, if they down the line have a couple games, you know, Lies of P 2 or something like that game's going to be probably really, really good, dude. And yeah, this isn't to say that FromSoft is perfect in every way either. I'm not glazing them too much here. There's still several problems with FromSoft games and that, you know, keep them from being what I would think is like a perfect game, basically, that's going to happen, right? But But yeah, they're still the best. They're still the kings, I think, right now. Yeah, 60 FPS, yes. If getting better performance is the #1 thing that FromSoft should be worried about at this point. But I do kind of agree that it is almost a quintessential part of being a Souls-like, is the developers really forcing you to have this intended experience, right? Or pushing you towards one experience of the game, which people can agree or disagree that it's good or bad or whatever, but yeah, I mean, hardest difficulty is the base game. That's true, but in Dark Souls, you have one, and I'm not saying this is better or worse. Like, I don't really think it makes that big of a difference, but like, at least for the quality of the game, I mean. But in Souls, you have one way to play, or you have one difficulty to play the game at. And so, you know, it's very intentional, I guess. When you have difficulty settings, though, nice. Okay. Well, what was that? But yeah, when you have difficulty settings, it makes it so that, you know, people can play the game for different reasons, right? And basically the two reasons would be being more interested in the story of the game, right? Or just, you know, kind of the, you know, I guess you can still go through the levels and stuff, but being more interested in the story and maybe the boss design and level design, stuff like that. Whereas if you're playing it in like the hardest setting or the maybe intended setting, whatever, then, you know, you get that plus a challenge as well. I forget what I'm even talking about, dude. Yeah, so difficulty settings, I think it just depends what the developers want. Do they want their game to be one where you're rewarded for learning the mechanics properly and stuff like that, and figuring out the bosses, or do they want you to have options, right? Like where you can do that, or you can just kind of ignore it. I don't know. I do almost think that parrying can reduce the amount of variety in a game to a certain degree, right? Because if you're just sitting there parrying the boss, and then, you know, you're opposing them or whatever, and you're not really utilizing the moveset of the weapon you have. I don't know, maybe it could be better balanced, I guess. Because yeah, I guess often when I play Lies of P, I just kind of just parry everything, and I don't really dodge anymore. But maybe there's some way where you could encourage people to do both more often. Because I think that's what I did. It has been a while since I played Lies of P. That was a couple of years ago, I think. But so yeah, if there were to be a game like Sekiro that had a variety of weapons and movesets and stuff, I think there needs to be ways to encourage both playstyles. Because I could very well be wrong. I've only played Lies of P once, but I just remember in Lies of P, I didn't see any reason to not just try to parry everything, basically. And that's all I did. I just learned parries on bosses, which was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but wouldn't mind, you know, some positional dodges and some like actual dodges as well. And I won't go for this. Oh, we didn't get the secondary hit there. Can I do another Great Combustion? I think that's fine, right? I wonder if I could go for it on this. I probably could, since we got Pyro. Yeah, I probably could have done that. That Blossom's still going. I'm trying to remember what in Kazan is it? I definitely don't remember pairing everything in Kazan. I don't really remember very well somehow. So let's get this. I mean, yeah, Kazan is a lot of pairing as well, though, for sure. Kazan felt like just another Souls-like. Lies of P didn't. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think like quite a few things in Kazan are different from normal Souls, right? Like just the level setups and the quests and the gear rolling. So it felt quite a bit different. Not saying that it's better or anything, but I I think it's more drastically different than Souls, probably, in my opinion. Yeah, and the whole like gear set stuff. Souls doesn't have that. They buy more skulls soon. Yeah, Kazan. I mean, Kazan's a solid game. It's pretty solid. I liked it. I haven't finished it yet though. Don't let him heal. Nice. Yeah, the combat in Kazan is pretty fun. Yeah, all the combos and the movesets and stuff. Yeah, it's a fun game, dude.
Blessing of the moon upon your journey.
Fun little game. Let's go get some more skulls, I guess. That's probably why this runs so slow. Is just all this back and forth and needing to buy more skulls, needing to change my Estus allotment, all that stuff. Sorcery didn't really have that. Yeah, I haven't tried any Neo game. I probably should though. Main reason I haven't played them is because of the console exclusivity at first, at least. And so I just haven't bothered. Okay, we get Cat Ring. I would like. You know what? I think I just like most games, probably. I don't think there are many games that I don't like to play or don't have fun playing, which is a pretty good thing, I think. I can't really think of any game I've played that I haven't at least enjoyed. Not necessarily that I finished them all, but it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty fun. Got some good things about it. Can't really think of a game where that hasn't been the case. That's fucked. That's fucked, dude. Oh my god. I don't know if I've seen that before. I don't know if I messed up or if he just randomly turned. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of Lords of the Fallen, but even that game, I don't know. I didn't play enough of it, maybe, though. Only played for like 2 hours, maybe. It seemed okay. But I guess I haven't played the, what is it, the big update that they did. Recommend the game now? What game do you mean? Oh, Night Rain. Would I recommend Night Rain? Yeah, I think so. I think it's a fun game if you like Elden Ring and stuff. But I don't think... Don't buy it thinking you're going to get, you know, hundreds of hours of playtime in it, you know? But you know what? It also could just be that because I've played Elden Ring so much that the game's... Night Rain's actually even less fun for me just simply because it's not as much of a challenge as it would be if I didn't know the enemies and the bosses as well. Like that's almost surely part of it. But no, there's the biggest problem with Night Rain, I think, is just basically the lack of randomizing in that game and how similar every run feels to me. But yeah, that being said, I still think the game's worth it. It's still a fun game. But, well, yeah, that's the ultimate problem, Spencer. Yeah, is that it's supposed to be roguelike, so the fact that it starts to get boring and feel the same after not that long is not a great sign. But yeah, the thing that carries Night Rain is the gameplay is very fun. Relic grind isn't really fun. Well, there basically isn't a relic grind. It's so insanely unlikely that you actually end up getting a really good relic that's better than the ones you can buy. So there's just, I don't think there's any reason to try to farm them by doing levels or anything like that. That's why I think they should add a relic progression system in the game, basically, where you can make relics yourself or something like, you know, something along those lines. You know, an idea is basically taking a relic, one passive on a relic, and then applying that to another relic or something like that, right? It's kind of the idea. And so that way you could eventually, you know, maybe it should be very hard to do. It should take a lot of time, but eventually you would get a perfect relic. And then you would do that for 3 relics on each character. And then that would be a fun way to make the game feel worth playing a bit more. And yeah, someone had a pretty interesting idea of once you get 10 of the same relic passive, then you can destroy all of those relics and then put it onto another relic or something like that, you know, that sort of thing. Doing every level over and over again. What do you mean, for souls or something? Oh, doing no hit runs? Yeah, but it's totally different. Like I have an end goal here, something to work towards. Each route that I make is unique and you know, requires different strategies and stuff. Night Rain is totally not the same thing. Oh, oops, I guess I forgot the tome. In the base form, it's the same though. Yeah, but I'm not playing the game in the base form of Dark Souls, right? I'm not playing this game as intended. In any, like, this isn't how you're intended to play the game. Well, it depends how you look at it, I guess, but they weren't thinking that people were going to do no hit runs in these games. And they're, you know, part of why, and the big reason why I like Souls games is because they're fun to do these types of runs in. And for all those reasons I gave earlier, they have unique routes. You're using a wide variety of builds and strategies and stuff. Night Rain has that, but it's not fun to do challenge runs in my opinion. And the intended game loop has gotten old because the map's always the same. It doesn't have the enough randomization. Like the camps are always the same layout, all this stuff. The castle's always in the middle. But yeah, I'm playing the games in two very different ways. But yeah, I totally see what you're saying, though. I mean, I am playing the same playthrough in a game several times, but you have to recognize that there's a difference in trying to go for some end goal to a no-hit run, right? Versus not doing it. Like, I guess if I just played the Souls games, I do, you know what? I do think a big part of it is also just that Night Rain is a 30-minute match, I guess. Right? You're in a 30-minute match and you just repeat that. If you do another Souls playthrough, if you do several Souls playthroughs, that's going to take you tens of hours. So you're not just constantly going through the same stuff all the time, which I guess is probably the biggest reason, I guess. No, but I'm not Night Rain's biggest hater. I'm just describing why I don't think Night Rain is a game that is fun to put, 300 hours into. Just did this time. I think it would be, though, if the randomization was done. I guess I'll say correctly. Then it would have been different. Oh, dude, that's so annoying. I guess right there, his shoulder was closer to his head than it normally is. I think that was the problem. Oh my god, how'd that miss? Black Flame's got that curve to it, dude. The Black Fire Orb, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I maybe didn't explain or articulate that perfectly, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. I think a part of it also has to do with expectation as well, because going into Night Rain, you're expecting, it's a roguelike game. You're expecting runs to feel a lot different every time. I think, you don't want runs to start to blend together that much. Whereas when I'm playing Souls, there's no expectation for that. It's the same game every time. There were days where I was running Night Rain where I just could not remember or I'd think back to other runs and I didn't know if that was the same run I was on or if it was a different run or something. But yeah, I guess another reason for that may just be that, again, it's a 30-minute game, basically, right? 30-minute cycle, which is fine, but I've talked about it enough, I guess. Oh, I should probably swap here. Great Combustion. But yeah, I've explained it enough times already, my opinion on Night Rain. I like the game. I think the gameplay is really good, but it does get a bit old. Dungeon Crawlers Roguelike. I think that would work better, probably. I think that would work much better. I do have to be aware of that guy in the back because there's potential that he hears something and then tries to go after it. Look, I should probably just skull here, dude. I'm just gonna skull. I heard him shoot. Yeah, he definitely shot, which was what I was scared of. If anyone's wondering, that the Undead Hunter's Charm doesn't count as a hit because it's a debuff. No stagger or no damage taken. Yeah, I feel like I need to reiterate that Night Rain is a fun game, and it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good game. It's worth buying and all that stuff, but I'm just talking about things that aren't keeping me playing it for, you know, 300 hours or something, right? I've about 250 hours in the game. And you might be thinking like, oh, he's talking about bad replayability, and he has 250 hours in the game, but I guess it's just for me, 250 hours isn't that much. Wow. You know, basically when it comes to any game I play, 250 hours is not really a lot, because I play very few games, and I usually just play them for a long-ass time. Did the stagger actually make me whiff that? No, I don't use red tear stone on this run. Simply because we use power within instead. Remember my first playthrough of this game? Oh yeah, I remember it very well, actually. Because it was my first Souls game, so probably the first playthrough that I remember the best. My Elden Ring first playthrough, I do not remember it well at all. Yeah, this game, I remember it decently well. And I remember what happened as well is... Wait, what happened? Why did you get hit by the sing part? Remember what happened is I started a character, got to Pontiff, and I didn't end up beating the game on that character. I just fully restarted the game. Because my build was shit, and I don't know. I just restarted the game. And you know what's funny too? I guarantee I still have that first playthrough character somewhere. Even the one that got stuck at Pontiff. I would have a save file of that somewhere. It's pretty funny. I still have that because I started doing no hit runs, right? And I made save files, and those characters would be in those early save files that I have. Would be on a different drive I have, but pretty sure I still have those. How's it going, Mad King? Yeah, I think I think on that character, I don't really remember it too well. I do remember having the Dark Hand, though. I was using the Dark Hand. What else, dude? Should I go back and get Great Combustion? Is it fine that I don't have it? I think it's fine, right? You hate this area? I think this is a good area, dude. This is probably one of the better ones in DS3. But yeah, hating it because it's annoying is... Yeah, that's reasonable. I think it is one of the better DS3 areas, though. If not, maybe the best one? Possibly? Okay, should I kill this guy or not? I think I'm not going to. I'm going to just skull. This is kind of the older strat. You wouldn't kill him usually. Yeah, it could very well be the best area in the game, yeah. I would probably agree with that, but I would have to think about it. This is the DS1 library again. Yeah, but it's better. I mean, it's a better area than DS1 archives for sure. Okay, I'm actually going to remember the bone shard this time. Yeah, but I think I agree. I think archives probably is the best area in the game. Got a lot going for it. So you can get a +9. Really liked Ash of Ariandel area, despite what everyone says. I think it's a little underrated. I'm not sure why people dislike it so much, to be honest. I think maybe the first part, you know, just the open field, the part with the tower, not very interesting, but everything after that I think is pretty solid. Maybe it's just because it's so short, you know? I don't think it's too bad, though. It's not great, but it's not absolute trash or anything. I'm wondering if I should get 24 attunement now so that I can use power within. I guess I will. Yeah, I think the problem with the Ariandel DLC is Gravetender sucks. And it is quite linear as well. That's probably the issues, right? The wolf is like a better Sif? No, I disagree with that, sure. I think Sif's much better than the Great Wolf. Okay, maybe not much better, but especially given the context of when Sif was made, I think Sif's for sure better. But the Great Wolf isn't trash, but there's no way it would stand alone as a boss itself. Let's do this. Yeah, I think Sif is actually really good. One of the best bosses in DS1. In my opinion. Holy damage, dude. Actually have to be careful I don't do too much. I shouldn't be too far back. Good. No, I think isn't it supposed to be the same Great Wolf, Petrodus? Or I forget if you killed the other Great Wolf at the second encounter or not, but no, it's the exact same, I think. It just the other ones don't have a phase 2 though. Pretty fast princess kill, dude. No, they won't do. No, they at least hopefully won't do another Elden Ring DLC. I'd much rather just another game, probably. I already think Elden Ring is too big. We don't need more. I don't even think Elden Ring really needed a DLC at all. I would have been perfectly fine if they were making an Elden Ring 2. That's what they actually are doing. Be perfectly fine seeing the stuff from that DLC in just another Elden Ring instead. I think it would have been a more reasonable size. Right, because that actually is a legitimate problem with the game. And the reason it's a problem is because if, let's say you're like a casual player, you want to do another Elden Ring playthrough, and you want to do kind of all the main bosses and beat the DLC, that is such a huge commitment. If you want to get to Mesmer, that's going to take you... Oh, I guess I was on Homeward Bound. Nice. Though I don't think I got that. Yeah, if you want to go fight Mesmer or Consort, that's going to take you so long, dude. And at that point, it's not even a question of... Or some people in the past have said that it's... You know, it's fine how big Elden Ring is simply because you can just skip a lot of the content in it, which is true. You don't have to do all bosses every time. But I think the base game, if you wanted to fight kind of all the main bosses, it's... You know, it's still a big commitment, but it's more reasonable. Once the DLC's added in, I just think it's too much, dude. It's too much for me, even. Right? Like, for the no-hit runs and stuff, I'm not really wanting to do a run like All Remembrances no-hit because it's so damn long now. Before, it was already pretty long, but now it's just crazy, dude. So yeah, that's a legitimate concern, I think. Part of why I think Elden Ring didn't really need a DLC in the first place, but not that it's bad DLC, although there are certainly some issues. Hopefully the boss will actually stun this time. Very fair damage. Did all 7 games though? Well, yeah, that's true, but I guess part of it being so long is the open world, right? You're traversing the open world, which is, you know, it's more boring than doing Dark Souls levels, undoubtedly. So that is a part. That's probably the biggest factor for me, is that the base game is, you know, it has, if you're gonna have a good build, right, and you're gonna get upgraded before fighting a bunch of bosses, it does take setup, which is, you know, it's fine. It takes a bit of setup, but it's not too bad. But then the problem for me is that I get to the DLC and I have to do that all again with the fragments. And the fragments are even less interesting to get because it's almost like I don't have a choice to get them because they're so damn strong. And I guess with the fragments too, you're going to be getting them anyways. Whereas in the base game, I have different builds that I maybe want to go for. If I want to go with, you know, faith build, the route through the game is going to be quite a bit different. The stops I need to make, bosses I need to kill are going to be different than if I'm going to go with a you know, pure strength build or something like that, right? But the DLC doesn't even have that part of it because fragments help every single build, no matter what, and you're going to get them no matter what, basically. So that's another part of the problem. Yeah, it's always the same. Exactly. We go with this one. The fragment system sucks. I kind of agree. At least the way it is. Not a big fan. And so, yeah, basically on top of already being really long just to kill all the bosses, right? You have all these running sections in between that are just open world that are just not that interesting. Again, I'm not saying the DLC is bad, though. It's just, that is one of the problems. Yeah, I disagree with the solution of putting the fragments behind main bosses because that's not the point of them. The point of the fragments was to encourage exploration, I think, and to recreate the feeling from the base game where you get stuck somewhere and then you can go explore, get a bit stronger, and then come back. I think that's what the fragments are for. Just like collecting Estus upgrades. Yeah, but it's not the same because Estus isn't... Honestly, Estus is not as strong as fragments are. But anyways. So yeah, I think that's what they were going for. And so just putting them behind main bosses doesn't do anything. So I think what they should have done is actually put it behind optional bosses instead. Don't put them in some random trash mob in some area that people aren't going to bother going to. Put them behind the side bosses. And also the other thing I would do is make them way less powerful. They should be probably half as strong as they are, or even less. You know, a third as powerful as the fragments are with the levels and stuff. I should I don't know why I buffed out there. I should buff here. I want to maximize the amount of time I have on power then.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone? Are you hiding from Fragment now?
Yeah, so here's what that does, basically, right? And what I was thinking is max fragments, or at least the soft cap for the fragments at level 12 or whatever, you know, whatever it would be. It should be probably 30% attack around that amount. Where if you're going out of your way to collect them, you will feel a substantial increase in power with an extra 30% damage. Well, I mean, what is it at the moment, I guess? Gotta be more than that, right? I can't remember what it is, but basically they should feel like having a strong talisman on. And that way, if you decide that you're going to skip them, you know, you're going to feel the penalty of skipping it, but it's not going to be so crazy that you're just getting absolutely blasted by everybody, right? And it's almost impossible to beat. But then at the same time, it's strong enough where if you do want to explore, you do get stuck somewhere, you can go get some more and you're going to feel more powerful after. That's what the balance should have been. And like, it probably shouldn't have even affected your defense at all, right? It should be a 30% attack boost at the soft cap. And your defense should probably, you know, maybe it can go up a little bit, but it shouldn't be crazy. Like, does anyone have the numbers? Is it 50% attack and 100% defense or something like that you get at max? It's something insane. Or yeah, maybe it's 100% damage multiplier. I don't know. But it's too much. And so because they are so damn strong, and yeah, people argue that it's similar to getting Estus upgrades in the base game. The reason why it's not is because Estus is not nearly close to as powerful or necessary as getting plus 100% attack, dude. Right? It's just not even close. Okay, yeah, so I had the numbers wrong. So it's 100% damage you get at max fragments. That's just, it's insane. You're getting double damage. And then you're getting 50% defense as well, which is also insane. So it becomes necessary. Because it's necessary, it makes, you know, going to all these little areas, killing some basic enemy, it's just not, you kind of have to do it, and it's not rewarding. Or it's not fun to do compared to killing a side boss or something, right? So yeah, I just think, I've talked about this before. I've talked about this so many times, but yeah, the way I think it would be good is 30% attack at maximum, or at the soft cap level 12, you know, maybe there could be some defense in there too, like maybe 10% defense or 15% defense, something like that. And move the fragments to optional bosses. That's what I would have done, probably. I still don't like the system for the fundamental reason that, you know, forget about the balancing. I don't like that in an RPG, you have some character buff that is just like zero downside. It is an all-around buff to your character. I don't really like that. I would much prefer to have to think about my build and what works well in my build and stuff. The fragments just aren't like that at all. That's probably the biggest issue I have with it. There's zero specialization. It's just, I get these and now I'm more powerful. All my numbers are higher, so I'm more powerful. So, yeah, Sekiro does that sort of thing in a pretty good job, but I think it's a different intended experience with that. Okay, we don't need the Prisoner's Chain, so I'm gonna get rid of that. 30 attunement. So yeah, that's my opinion on the fragments. I'm actually, I was kind of shocked, or maybe I'm not shocked, but there are a lot of people who really like the fragments actually, and it kind of surprises me a little bit. And I think they think it's perfect. And I remember when I tweeted about it one time, and there are these big discussions on it. I think the reason for that is on a first playthrough, it feels pretty good, actually. It feels okay. I mean, other than the overall character upgrade, which I don't like, but the progression of it seemed okay. Because you don't know where they are. You know, you're just going to find them while exploring. For the most part, it's still garbage that they're into these basic enemies that you wouldn't... like, why are these very important fragments locked behind some meaningless enemy? But anyways, other than that, the progression seems fine, and so you don't really think much about it on a normal playthrough. But then, once you play the DLC again, is when you start to feel the poor design of it, for the most part. And yeah, most people only play once. That is absolutely true. That is true. But yeah, so then basically the idea is that they think it's like, okay, I didn't really notice it much on my first playthrough. It worked. It seemed fine. Progression seemed fine, so the system is good. If you look at it that way, it's just, that's not a very objective way to look at it, I guess, right? Because that's what I thought the exact same thing after my first playthrough as well. I was like, oh yeah, the fragments, yeah, I didn't really, like, I got most of them. I got to level 19. I missed I missed one or two fragments on the whole run. Why are you walking that way? This guy does scare me a little bit. We should consider replayability, but that's not my main argument. Isn't even that. That's not my main problem with them, but it is a problem I have with them for sure though. But yeah, the main problem is just, like I said, overall power upgrade in an RPG that isn't really. It totally goes against the theme of the game, right? There's so many different builds you can use, so many different talismans, so many different weapons that you can pick to upgrade. It's all about picking and choosing in an RPG, right? And you have to commit to something. I don't like getting overall more powerful like that. It doesn't feel right. Maybe I'll go like this, actually. Or I don't think I need Black Fire Orb for anything. Oh, no, wait. I use it on Nameless King. I'll go like this, I guess. So we are going here, dude. Yeah, Convergence, at least last I played it, was a little bit better with the upgrade system. I should probably play this part safe, huh? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to drain my own HP. So if I do get drained at the end, it's fine. You shouldn't get drained if you go through it like this, but just in case. Because I don't count the drain as a hit unless it actually damages my character. It decreases my actual health, not max HP. Because max HP, it's just a debuff at that point, right? But if it starts to decrease your actual health, then it's damage and it's a hit. But yeah, all that being said, good things about the DLC are it has some absolute top tier bosses in it. Has some insanely cool spells and weapons that they added. Some solid areas too. Like I think Ballarat's pretty good. Shadow Keep is pretty solid as well. Maybe not top tier, but pretty decent. Some interesting talismans that they put in the DLC as well. But like most of it's pretty good. I like the Catacomb level design, especially compared to the base game. Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate that again it's the biggest problem I have is with the fragments for sure. That's my big problem with the DLC. And yeah, unfortunately, that affects every single playthrough I do of it. And yeah, and it also is a system that contributes to, like, the thing we were talking about originally here was that Elden Ring is too big. You know, whether or not you're doing all bosses or just trying to do all main bosses, it's too big. And my main point was that the fragments and the setup of the DLC does contribute to that. At least for me. It's not the only reason, obviously, but it is part of it. Makes it longer. Oh yeah, the Enter Illim teleport is just inexcusable, dude. I just don't understand it. I cannot be the only one to think that is just insane, dude. At Elden Ring's map in half and it would be a better game. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I do think how big and grand the game is part of what makes it special, though. So, but yeah, I think arguably the base game is probably a little too big. For me personally, in my opinion, it's not. And I like doing all boss 165 runs and stuff like that. And if, you know, if I want to hit all the main bosses and all the remembrances, that also feels pretty reasonable. Maybe it's a little bit long, but it's still decent. But with the DLC, which is what my main argument was, is that it's way too much now, right? Because it was already maybe a little bit too big in the base game. This part does scare me, I guess. I'm just concerned that I throw that skull too far and the guy just rolls at me and I get smoked. I don't know why they both fall off, though. I guess just they roll after the skull. When you want to replay a game, you don't want 150 hours of your life gone. That is fair. How do I feel about the dancer teleport? I think it's fine. I like it. That's kind of the thing I wish they had for Enter Illim, basically. You know, just teleport you in front of the Divine Beast Arena, something like that. You know, and I guess that way, yeah, if they just teleported you in front of the Divine Beast Arena, it's good for two possibilities, right? Either you killed Divine Beast and went through Ballarat, or you didn't. And so if you already killed him, then, you know, it's fine. You just go past the boss and you walk up the cool staircase. You take the big elevator up and it's really sick, right? You get to see Enter Illim from that staircase. But then if you didn't do Ballarat already, then you have, you know, some alternate route where you could skip the area potentially. And then you could explore it from the top down instead, which I think is cool. Yeah, I think that would have worked pretty well. Okay. That's no way that's high enough. No stun that time. Pretty rare when you're using this kind of build to see any Nameless King phase 2, but he didn't stun and I kind of misplayed it as well because I just sat there when I could have done 2 black flames, but it's fine. Okay, so Demon Prince's Boulder. Yeah, I think Divine Beast could have been mandatory, at least to beat the final boss of the DLC. I think that would have been very reasonable compared to only having, what, 3? How many? Wait, so you need to kill Mesmer, you need to kill Romana, and Consort. That's it, right? It's kind of insane that you only need to kill that few bosses to beat the DLC. So yeah, having one more would have been perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable. Yeah, and Leda, I guess, yeah. I had to throw in an NPC fight. And an NPC gank fight, of course, the FromSoft classic for the final DLC boss. You got Halflight, you got Letta. Yeah, Jimmy just loves it, dude. And they couldn't have, like, I would have loved a PvP fight in place of Letta instead. I mean, actual online PvP fight. I would have much preferred that sort of thing. At least just for normal playthroughs, it'd be fun to do some PvP, but... Just maybe want one of those for phase 2. Tank Squad DS2 worse than Letta? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no simply because at least they have some terrain to work with. It's a terrible boss, but you at least have some stuff to work with in that fight. When you're fighting Letta, I mean, you get summons for that, but... I mean, I'm sure there are summons for DS2 as well, but I probably get 2 summons for that boss, I'm guessing. Just take it nice and slow. I could do the fast strat for this, but I had some inconsistencies with the stagger in phase 2, so I didn't... It's just safer to do this one. Give me something I can work with, please. It's kind of trolling me a little bit. Dang. We haven't had a fight this slow, I don't think. It's Pyromancy. Be fine. Oh, shit, dude. I really messed it up. Made this fight look hard with this spell. Unfortunately. Most of the time, we kill him, and he can't even get a single attack off, but I was too far away when I started up the first Boulder Heave, and so we didn't get the cycles for the spinnies. Yeah, not the best fight. Still pretty good, though, considering. But yeah, you can definitely get much better fights with this spell than that. Yeah, it does kind of suck, though, because, like, Boulder Heave is so insane on Demon Princes, and I just didn't really get a good fight there at all. It was, I mean, it was still objectively a good fight relative to any other build in the game, basically, but yeah, Boulder Heave can do better than that. But surely this is... I haven't had this happen yet, so hopefully it's fine. By haven't had this happen yet, I mean it's been several years since I've seen him aggro. So usually when this happens, I just run over here and wait for the de-aggro. Nice. Okay, I did miss one there, but I guess it doesn't matter. Not like speed matters on this run anyways, when we're already at the 3-hour mark, but... We have to keep this soul. That'd be very bad if I accidentally used it. Yeah, surely he's dead, dude. No way he survived that. You have to fight Bridge Midir if you want to fight real Midir. There's no way around it. Other than glitches, but... Yeah, there's a fog wall down here if you don't do that. Okay, surely I'll remember to use the lingering. Like I just haven't been using it on this run at all. Lingering is very nice because you just get that's just get more duration on Power Within. Terrible. Very bad transition there. You know what? That actually didn't turn out too bad because, like, the kill was actually so slow that we ended up getting the another power within off because he did laser and stuff, so actually didn't turn out that bad. Like, sometimes we get really long phase 2s with him with this, but that one, I don't know, I guess we got laser, so I was able to rebuff, and then we got a lot of damage off on the stun, which kind of sped it up a little bit. Okay, Poison Mist. I guess this is another reason why this runs so long, is because we use, like, only Poison Mist here. I have no idea what we're going to use for Miracle Run on this fight, because the usual strat would just be Dung Pie. I don't really want to use any consumables, though. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. I get +3 stamina ring. Now, when you're doing spell builds, your ring slots are basically always the same in this game. You've got Lloyd Sword or Red Tearstone, you have a clutch ring, and then you have the 2 spell boosting rings. So there's no room for anything else. Harry plus Sunlight Spirit? Maybe, dude. I don't know if it'd be fast enough, though. I haven't tried that. Yeah, we might have to spend a significant amount of time testing Miracle Halflight. Where you don't aggro the second Guardian one. But, like, what would you do once you get there? What spell would you use? I don't think our damage is going to be high enough where we don't need that strat. If parry into Lightning Spear worked, or Lightning, you know, Lightning anything, really. Lightning Stake, Sunlight Spear, something like that, then it probably is fine. I'm almost definitely going to need Sage Ring. Because it's just going to deal so much damage, right? It'll probably 2-shot him, I'm guessing. If it actually does land. So if it 2-shots him, then that's fine. That'll work. I feel like he's probably too quick getting out of it. I forgot to do this fight multiplayer. Well, instead of this main guy, it's an actual player, and they have those orbs spawning on them. They're also they have scaling based on how many players are coming into the boss. It's actually really fun, dude. Yeah, no Toxic Mist on this, and it's simply because I don't use Toxic Mist, or I couldn't really find a good use case for Toxic Mist anywhere else on the run, so... Cast Speed Ring actually maxes your cast speed in DS3? No, it doesn't. No, it does not. I think Sage Ring is a little bit less than max, if I'm not mistaken. Doing Sorcery, Pyro, and Miracles only, which one is the hardest, which is the easiest? I think Pyro is... I don't know yet. I haven't done them all. Sorcery is no doubt has some of the worst boss fights in it, right? You have so many magic-resistant bosses that you need to be... You know, you just have long fights, or you need to be clever to get around it. Pyromancy has... basically 0 bad boss fights, except for maybe Midir and Gael aren't great with Pyromancy. They're not bad. They're just not insane, like every other kill is with it. Miracle will most likely have a lot of really good boss kills in it. But here's the thing with Sorcery. It has those bad boss kills, but we have Hidden Body. We have Spook. We have Pestilent Mist instead of Red Tearstone. We have all that stuff, which is really handy. And so, honestly, this run, I think, is harder than that Sorcery run I did. Maybe. It's a bit different, but I would rather have easier running sections than easier bosses. Probably go level up some endurance, right? Yeah, favorite definitely Metter, dude. Yeah, nailed it. True. I don't know, but maybe I should have used Toxic Mist on Gael here. It probably would be worth it, but it's too late now anyways. Teeth and Chaos. That's for Gravetender. I'm pretty much only going to use Great Combustion here, so I'll just take Great Chaos Fire Orb. But yeah, Toxic Mist is very good on Gael. But I don't know, dude. The way I like to do Gael is to try to get phase 2 done as quickly as possible. And if I'm using Toxic Mist, it can make things take a little bit longer, because that's the dangerous phase, right? I mean, like, Gael's cape is dangerous, and some of his projectiles and stuff, maybe, but phase 2 crossbow is probably the scariest thing. So I kind of just want to get it over with. So I don't really want to sit there trying to toxic him, even though it actually doesn't really take that long. I didn't put lingering on, of course. Went all the way to get it, and I've only used it, I think, once. There's a random lightning right behind me there. I heard it and I saw it. Like, I saw it out of the corner of my screen, maybe. Don't really like that so much. We have Teeth and Chaos. Let's just maybe get down there first and then I'll swap. Or, I guess it doesn't matter. So, I want to go something like this. I wouldn't mind having Catch Flame, but I'll just be patient with the wolves if they don't die. We have Skulls. Some more Endurance, too. More Endurance helps our Boulder Heave stun locks. So... and everything should be set up for Friede as well. Yeah, it's kind of nice not having to do this whole running section right at the end of a run. This one's still a little bit sketchy. Poison Breath Strat, not good for Gael. I think it would be. I was just saying that earlier. It probably is worth getting Toxic Mist for Gael phase 2. But I was just saying I do like... phase 2 Gael for no hit is the most dangerous part. So I do like getting it over with quickly and not sitting around trying to Toxic Mist him, you know? I normally roller cover there, and I didn't. It was kind of scary. Yeah, it would be nice to have another spell slot for this fight. And you know what? Maybe I should buy the Saint's Ring or something like that, so that I can do that, and I could just take it off once we kill the wolves or something. Yeah, or Deep Ring. Yeah, that's true. Not my best skull throw. It's not ideal. It's the exact situation why I would like to have Great Combustion. Because Great Chaos Fire was a little slow. I have to be very picky with when I go for one here. Oh, this damn wolf is insane, dude. It's reminded me of like some super low damage runs where I like it takes me a good few hits to kill these guys. Yes, Great Combustion definitely would have made this a lot easier. I think if I have to attempt this again, then I will probably go with that. I mean, really, the only reason I have Great Chaos Fire Orb is for the big wolf anyways, so I could just go Great Combustion for that wolf. Be patient here, though. On any rush. Yeah, I don't have enough spell slots for it. And I'm in this spot, but Grave Tender's a little too close. Yeah, because I need Seething Chaos, and I need... Please run through that. Oh my god, how do you not run in that, dude? It's actually kind of not good that I hit Grave Tender, too. Because we don't want to be forcing phase 2 accidentally here. This is actually so funny, dude. Like, if I had melee, this would have been done ages ago. Maybe we could have gone there, I guess. We got him? But yeah, with a slow spell, it makes it a lot trickier. Probably want to get Lingering on. Do this, we do this. Too far. Okay. Yeah, the strat is really good, isn't it, dude? Beautiful. Okay, so we go Sacred Flame, Boulder Heave, and Great Chaos Fire Orb. I usually don't like leaving Friede for last because she's one of the more dangerous bosses in the run. Even on Pyro, we do have a really good kill, but still potentially dangerous. Actually supposed to go with the Boulder Heave, or this one here. Friede does sketch me out when I'm using spells. Because of those big jumps. Just like constant input reading. He's totally bugging, dude. That's how you do that fight. Simple. I'm very happy she gave us the like full stun lock phase 3. It is RNG because she can potentially dash out of it, but it's pretty consistent actually. All right, dude. One more to go. Yeah, Pyromancy is pretty good, dude. It is unfortunate that I didn't end up getting the really good Demon Prince kill because it really is so disgusting, right? Like, if you get the cycles correct, he basically just can't move the whole fight. In phase 2, that is. I'm just gonna wait for this again. I'm a coward. Even though even if I ran here, it can't even hit you as long as you hug the right side, but... All right, ODK. It is your unlucky day. All right, GG's, dude. Simple. All bosses now hit pyro only. A little bit longer than the sorcery, but I should have. I mean, I should have done this first try, but that goddamn kamikaze dude smoked me because I went for a free aim that I missed. But yeah, very clean, dude. Just trying to think if anything was bad on this run. Not really. Pyro's pretty much easy mode in this game, dude. I thought coming into this, I thought it was gonna be not good in the DLC. I knew it was really good in the base game. I thought it was going to be weaker in the DLC, but I was just totally wrong, dude. Relative to other spell types, at least relative to sorcery, which is the only other spell one I've done. Like, I haven't done Miracle yet, but compared to sorcery, Pyro in the DLC is just insane, dude. I do think Midir and Gael aren't super strong for Pyro. Although Gael, if I'm using Toxic Mist it is, and Great Combustion is still actually pretty good on him. But it's nothing crazy. But for Grave Tender, Friede, Demon Princes, like Boulder Heave mainly, is just absolutely busted, dude. So. All right, well, there we go, dude. Simple.